we would get into some heavy losses because we were doing things that never were done with these helicopters and other aircraft that we were flying. And so on one particular occasion, we lost one of our unit commanders. A major flew into some high power lines during the nighttime exercise. He was killed. His co-pilot, a warrant officer, had his legs cut off during the crash, and post-crash investigation a man from Washington came and had identified himself as Jake. He was accompanied by another man who wouldn't identify himself, and so we just nicknamed him the Snake. Because Jake the Snake, Jake and the Snake, that's who was there. He was pretty slimy guy. You know, we would later find that Jake was a person who was attached to the NSC, and his actual name was Oliver North. That was my first contact with Ollie North. And so what happened after that was the state's government had pushed for a little rebellion down in Central America, a place called Nicaragua. They had pushed and helped organize a group of rebels called the Contras. They taught them into fighting against the Sandinistas. I don't know why. I have some ideas why, but I won't get into just my ideas because I don't know why. Other than someone thinking that it's a terrible thing that a country have its own sovereignty and not do like we are, have this not be ruled by the CIA at any rate. That the CIA helped promise that they would fund and they would back this rebellion. But a man named Boland came out with an act in Congress that after we had set this thing up and it started, the war was in full swing down, that didn't allow us to support them any longer, except in a humanitarian effort. So the next thing I knew, I guess because of my tact with it, then Vice President of the United States, who actually oversaw by National Security Decision Directive number to actually oversaw all intelligence operations, George Bush having been personally handled by him, and him knowing that I was reactivated and working in this Special Operations Unit in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. They said that we want you to go down posing as a humanitarian down there. In the briefing with North, I said, what do you mean a humanitarian? He said, you're gonna be a medevac pilot. Now you're gonna fly in medical aircraft into these Contra camps. That's humanitarian. It's allowed. And you'll serve. In the briefing, he said you'll serve 3 entities. You'll serve the United States Army as a medevac pilot. You'll serve the United States Embassy through the military office, and then you will serve, and that was CIA, and you'll simply serve the Pegasus operations, that we'll call it because of your code name. And Pegasus operations are directly controlled by the NSC. Thanks for watching. We out here. Finn.